The butcher, the baker, the grocer, the clerk are secretly unhappy because
the butcher, the baker, the grocer, the clerk get paid for what they do, but no applause.
They'd gladly bid their dreary jobs goodbye for anything theatrical and wide. There's no
business like show business, like no business I know. Everything about it is appealing, everything the traffic will allow. Nowhere could you get that happy feeling when you were feeling that extra wow. There's no people like show people, they smile when they are low. Even with the turkey that you know is full, you may be stranded out in the cold. Still you wouldn't change it for a sack of gold. Let's go on with the show.
The costumes, the scenery, the makeup, the props, the audience that lifts you when you're down.
The headaches, the heartaches, the backaches, the flops, the sheriff who escorts you out of town. The opening when your heart beats like a drum. The closing when the customers won't come. There's no business like show business, like no business I know. You get word before the show has started that your favorite uncle died at dawn. The top of that your pawn on a parted, you're broken hearted, but you go on. There's no people like show people, they smile when they are low. Yesterday they told you you would not go far, that night you open and there you are. Next day on your dressing room they hung the star. Let's go on with the show.
Little Theatre has indeed been going on with the show for over 20 years. That song was from the hit musical Annie Get Your Gun, produced by Little Theatre in 1965. Tonight, we hope to highlight some of the memories and the music from those years.
The year is 1963, and the newly formed Grande Prairie Little Theatre presents what is to become a tradition, the big musical.
Some enchanted evening, you may see a stranger, across a crowded room, and somehow you know even then, that somewhere you'll see her again and again. Some enchanted evening, someone may be laughing across a crowded room, and night after night, as strange as it seems, the sound of her laughter will sing in your dreams. Who can explain it? Who can tell you why? Fools give you reasons, wise men never try. Some enchanted evening, when you find your true love, when you feel her call you across a crowded room, then fly to her arms, and make her your own.
with volleyball and ping pong and a lot of dandy games. What ain't we got? We ain't got dames. There is nothing like a dame, nothing in the world. There is nothing you can name that is anything like a dame.
Younger than springtime am I, gayer than laughter am I, angel and lover, heaven and earth am I with
some enchanted evening,
some enchanted evening,
when you find your true love,
when you find your true love,
when you feel her
when you feel it
calling across a crowd.
wasn't the only theatre group in town even back then. St. Paul's United Drama Group, later the Swan City Players, were busy mounting productions. Productions like Grub Stake for the Eye Opener Man, which portrayed a series of incidents in the life of Calgary publisher Bob Edwards.
This morning I have a special announcement to make. As members of this congregation are aware, only too painfully aware I fear, we have recently been confronted with certain difficulties in the matter of our choir. I trust I need not discuss these difficulties at this time, and I think you will agree with me that indeed a mantle of Christian silence should descend upon the entire subject. Nevertheless, I feel it is incumbent upon me to point out that ever since Mr. Peabody's unexpected departure from High River, we have been unable to find a choir master to replace him. Nor have we found a soprano to replace Miss Abbott White. Consequently, we have been without a choir. We have managed, as the saying is, to struggle along, to obey the biblical injunction to sing unto the Lord with a cheerful voice. And when I have heard the congregation sing the old hymns without the assistance of a choir, I have been at times overcome with emotion. In all my years in the ministry, I have known few Christian experiences to equal it. This morning we have with us Mr. Elmer Skipworth of the Pearly Gates Gramophone Choir Company of Cincinnati, Ohio. Mr. Skipworth has kindly agreed, in a Christian spirit and inspired by no commercial motives whatever, to assist us in our dilemma and to demonstrate for us the new improved church model of the Pearly Gates gramophone. He has brought with him a special selection of records chosen especially for Protestant congregations, all sung by a 30-voice choir, every member of which is a practicing Christian and a church member in good standing at the time these records were made. Mr. Skipworth.
Thank you, Reverend Mr. Sloan. It's a great privilege and a genuine pleasure for me to visit your charming little town, and to be asked to join in your devotions this Sabbath morning. Now, you folks think you have a problem. No choir. Will I bring you a message of comfort? You ask me what is that message, I'll tell you. You've got no problem, your problem is solved.
But we have got a problem. We have no choir.
I say you have got a choir. And I brought one with me, right here. Now, if you had to pay this choir, it would cost you thousands. That's what it cost us, thousands. But I can put this choir, 30 golden voices, specially chosen from singers at the Metropolitan Opera House. I can put this choir into your church right here in High River for less than $5. Last night, over at the hotel, I sat up till past 12 o'clock, closing time, playing these records for Mr. Bob Edwards, editor of your local paper, the High River Eye Opener. Now they tell me Mr. Edwards doesn't go in much for church services again, but let me tell you, I have never seen any man so impressed as your editor was by the Pearly Gates Gramophone Choir. Well, he even helped me sort out the records and fetch them over here this morning. Now, with your kind permission, the Pearly Gates Gramophone Choir will sing an old favorite hymn beloved by churchgoers young and old. I won't tell you the name. We'll just let it be a pleasant little surprise.
Turn it off! Stop this blasphemy! Turn it off!
Yes, sir. I'm trying to. Turn it off. I know who did it. He must have switched the records on me last night. That goddamn editor.
The eye opener, man, the last straw! You must leave this town!
Just let me get my hands on him. I'll kill this son of a bitch.
July 27, 1966. The Swan City Players won a home of their own. Sound familiar? Space has always been part of any community theater group's history, and the Swan City Players found a home of their own in the Bittersweet. And together with Little Theater members, they kept the building hopping every weekend throughout Centennial Year.
July 1968, the Bittersweet is no more. Sound familiar? Because of finances, the space was given up. And at that time, Swan City Players decided to amalgamate with Little Theater. Jenny Tetro spoke on behalf of the group, saying, "One strong voice will be heard louder than two."
Linus! Linus, where are you?
Hi, Linus. Where are you going?
Lucy's teaching me, Charlie Brown. She says a sister is responsible for the education of her little brother, so she's teaching me. Boy, is she intelligent.
Come along, Linus. Do you see that tree? It is a fir tree. It's called a fir tree because it gives us fur for coats. It also gives us wool in the wintertime.
That's very interesting, Lucy. I never knew that before.
This is an elm tree. It's very little, but it will grow up into a giant tree. An oak. You can tell how old it is by counting its leaves.
Gosh, that's fascinating, Lucy.
Now, wait a minute, Lucy. I don't mean to interfere.
And way up there, those fluffy little white things, those are clouds. They make the winds blow. And way down there, those tiny little black things, those are bugs. They make the grass grow.
I never knew that before.
That's right, they crawl around all day long, tugging and tugging at each tiny seedling until it grows into a great blade of grass.
That's fascinating.
Oh, good grief.
And that thing there, it's called a hydrant. They grow all over, and no one seems to know just how a little thing like that gets so much water. Do you see that bird? It's called an eagle, but since it's little, it has another name, a sparrow. On Christmas and Thanksgiving, we eat them.
Lucy, how can you say that? I can't just stand by
And way up there, the little stars and planets make the rain that falls in showers. And when it's cold and winter is upon us, the snow comes up, just like the flowers.
No, I know that's wrong, Lucy. Snow doesn't come up, it comes down.
After it comes up, the wind blows it around so it looks like it's coming down. But actually it comes out over the ground like grass. Snow comes up. Charlie Brown, it comes up.
Lucy, why is Charlie Brown banging his head against a tree?
To loosen the bark so the tree will grow faster. Come along, Linus. You're a good man, Charlie Brown. You're the kind of reminder we need. You have humility, nobility, and a sense of honor that are very rare indeed. You're a good man, Charlie Brown, and we know you will go very far. Yes, it's hard to believe, almost frightening to conceive, what a good man you are. You are kind to all the animals and every little bird.
wishy-washy.
The stage door became the new Bittersweet, and in its 2 years of existence, over 20 shows were mounted. Shows like You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, The Fantastics, Mixed Doubles, and of course that wonderful review by the master of wit, Noel Coward.
Quite for no reason, I'm here for the season, high as a kite. Living in error with Maud at Cap Ferret, which couldn't be right. Everyone's here and frightfully gay. Nobody cares what people say. Though the Riviera seems really much queerer than Rome at its height. Yesterday night, I've been to a marvelous party. I must say the fun was intense. We all had to do what the people we knew would be doing 100 years hence. Dear Cecil arrived wearing armor, some shells and a black feather boa. Poor Millicent wore a surrealist comb made of bits of mosaic from St. Peter's in Rome. But the wait was so great she had to go home. I couldn't have liked it more. I've been to a marvelous party. We didn't start dinner till 10. And young Bobby Carr did a stunt at the bar with a lot of extraordinary men. Dear Bubba arrived with a turtle, which shattered us all to the core. The Grand Duke was dancing a foxtrot with me, when suddenly Cyril screamed fiddle-dee-dee, ripped off his trousers and jumped into the sea. I couldn't have liked it more.
Don't put your daughter on the stage, Mrs. Worthington. Don't put your daughter on the stage. The profession is overcrowded and the going's pretty tough. And admitting the fact she's burning to act, that isn't quite enough. She has nice hands to give the wretched girl her due, but don't you think her bust is too developed for her age? I repeat, Mrs. Worthington, sweet Mrs. Worthington, don't put your daughter on the stage. Regarding yours, dear Mrs. Worthington, of Wednesday the 23rd, although your baby may be keen on a stage career, how can I make it clear that this is not a good idea for her to hope, dear Mrs. Worthington, is on the face of it absurd. No, her personality is not in reality inviting enough, exciting enough for this particular sphere.
Don't put your daughter on the stage, Mrs. Worthington. Don't put your daughter on the stage.
She's a bit of an ugly duckling, you must honestly confess, and the width of her seat would surely defeat her chances of success. It's a loud voice, though it's not exactly fat. She'll need a little more than that to earn a living wage. On my knees, Mrs. Worthington, please, Mrs. Worthington,
Don't put your daughter on the stage. Don't put your daughter on the stage, Mrs. Worthington. Don't put your daughter on the stage.
Though they said at the School of Acting she was lovely as Peggint, I'm afraid on the whole an Angely role would emphasize her script. She's a big girl, and though her teeth are fairly good, she's not the sort I ever would be eager to engage. No more buts, Mrs. Worthington, nuts, Mrs. Worthington.
Don't put your daughter on the stage. Don't put your daughter on the stage, Mrs. Worthington. Don't put your daughter on the stage.
One look at her bandy legs should say she hasn't got a chance. In addition to which, the son of a bitch can neither sing nor dance. She's a vile girl, and uglier than mortal sin. One look at her has put me in a tearing bloody rage. Now that sufficed, Mrs. Worthington. Christ, Mrs. Worthington,
Don't put your daughter on the stage.
Fortunately, didn't take Noel Coward's advice, and over the years, shows involving children have won the hearts of Grande Prairie audiences. Shows like Oliver, Sound of Music, Finian's Rainbow, Ballad of Nobby Clark. But you only see the finished product. How do those shows get cast? Let's take a behind-the-scenes look at a typical, well, sometimes typical amateur theatre audition.
Well, we'd like to welcome you out to the auditions. We're going to need 52 people for the show, so as you can see, we need a few more. Tell your friends. Now, I'll be producing the show. This is our director and our choreographer.
Thank you. Well, maybe we could get started here. We're going to ask each of you to sing a song, something from the show if you like. So could we start with Stanley?
Oh, do I have to go first?
Oh, sure, come on. Have you had any experience doing musicals?
Well, I was Tigger in the grade 4 production of Winnie the Pooh, and in grade 6 I was Macbeth.
Terrific.
Oh.
What are you going to sing for us?
I didn't know we had to sing.
This is a musical.
That's okay. Just sing anything. I'm sure our accompanist can fake it. Mrs. Johnson. Mrs. Johnson! Go ahead, Stanley.
Do you know you light up my life?
No, I don't.
You light up my life. You give me hope to carry on.
Thank you, Stanley. We'll let you know. Let's see, is Marilyn here?
I see you put on your audition for the lead dancer's role. Yes, I've just started some adult jazz classes, and I've had several years of ballet when I was younger.
Hello, Marilyn.
Hi.
Come over here and we'll just try a few simple steps, right?
Okay.
Mrs. Johnson, could you play something in 2/4 upbeat? No, Mrs. Johnson. Mrs. Johnson! 2/4, you know 1 2 1 2? Just play 5 foot 2 eyes of blue. 3 4 now. 1 2 3 4, then turn 2 3 and 4. I think you can try that.
Yeah.
Good. Once again, please. 3 4. 1 2 3 4. Now turn 2 3 and 4.
I'm much better at tap. Maybe I can do my tap routine for you.
We're doing West Side Story, not 42nd Street.
Thank you, Marilyn. Thanks. Is there anyone else here who would like to audition? No, eh? What about you two?
No, I just want to work on props or make up something backstage.
I'm just watching. I came with her.
Look, do you sing?
Oh, just a little bit.
A little bit? Oh, great. Just try some of this. Us? Sure.
Sing.
Come right over to the piano. Yeah. Come along.
Over here.
Right over there.
Before you think that all we did were musicals, let's remember back to 1971. Little Theatre had already attempted Arthur Miller's powerful drama, All My Sons, and were at it again. Putting history on the stage is a difficult task, but over the years the club has shown that serious drama can be done, and done well. The Crucible is set in Massachusetts in the 1690s during the infamous Salem witch hunts.
Abigail Williams, I bid you now search your heart. Tell me this. Is it possible, child, that the spirits you have seen are illusion only? Some deception that may
this is a base question, sir.
Child, I would have you consider
I
it.
have been hurt, Mr. Danforth. I have seen my blood running out. I have been near to murdered every day because I've done my duty pointing out the devil's people. And this is my reward? To be mistrusted? Denied? Questioned?
Child, I do not mistrust you.
Let you beware, Mr. Danforth. Think you to be so mighty that the powers of hell may not turn your wits? Beware of it. There is a...
What is it, child?
I made a yacht. A wind. A cold wind.
Abby!
Your Honor, I freeze.
They're pretending. Touch her, Your Honor. She is
Oh, Mary, do you send this shadow on me? Lord, save me!
How dare you call heaven? Man, what do you think that is? Now here. You charge
Mr. Danforth, he's lying!
Mark her. Now she'll suck a scream to stab me with.
You will prove this. This will not pass.
I have known her. I have known her. You are a lecturer. It's true. She will deny it, but you will believe me, sir. A man will not cast away his good name. You surely know that.
In what time? In what time? In what place?
In the proper place, where my beasts are bedded. 8 months ago it is now, sir. 8 months. You used to serve me in my house, sir. A man may think God sleeps. God sees everything. I know it now. I beg you, sir, I beg you, see her what she is. My dear good wife took this girl soon after, sir, and put her out on the high road. And being what she is, a lump of vanity, sir. Excellency, forgive me, forgive me. She thinks to dance with me on my wife's grave, and well she might. But I thought of her softly. God help me, I lusted, and there's promise in such sweat. But it is a whore's vengeance, and I know you must see it. I set myself entirely in your hands. I know you must see it now. My wife is innocent, except she knows a whore when she sees one.
You deny every scrap and tittle of this?
If I must answer that, sir, I will leave and I will not come back again.
She does not deny it, Mr.
You
Danforth.
will remain where you are. Sit you down. Mr. Paris, go into the courtroom and bring out Goody Proctor. Mr. Paris, tell her not one word of what's been spoken here, and let you knock before you enter. Now we shall touch the bottom of this one. Your wife, you say, is an honest woman.
In her life, she has never lied. There are them that cannot sing and them that cannot weep. My wife cannot lie.
And when she put this girl out of your house, she put her out for a harlot?
Aye, sir.
And knew her for a harlot.
And knew her for a harlot.
Good then. And if she tell me, child, and were for harlot, may God spread his mercy on you. Oh! Turn your back. Turn your back. You do likewise. And let neither of you turn to face Goody Proctor. Let no one in this room speak one word or raise a gesture, A or nay. Enter. Mr. Paris, report this testimony in all exactness. ready? Ready, sir. Come here, woman. Look at me only, not at your husband. In my eyes only.
Good sir.
We are given to understand that at one time you dismissed your servant, Abigail Williams.
That is true, sir.
For what cause did you dismiss her? You will look into my eyes only, and not at your husband. The answer lies in your memory, and you need no help to give it to me. Why did you dismiss Abigail Williams?
She dissatisfied me and my husband.
In what way dissatisfied you?
She were...
A woman, look at me. Was she slovenly, lazy? What disturbance did she cause?
Your Honor, in that time I was sick and my husband is a good and righteous man. Never drunk as some are, nor wasting his time at the shovel board. He's always at his work. But in my sickness, you see, sir, I were a long time sick after my last baby, and I thought I saw my husband somewhat turning from me. And this girl...
Look at me!
I saw Abigail Williams.
What of Abigail Williams?
I came to think he fancied her. So one night I lost my wits, I think, and I turned her out on the high road.
Your husband. Did he indeed turn from you?
My husband is a goodly man, sir.
Then he did not turn from you. Look at me, to your own knowledge. Has John Proctor ever committed the crime of lechery? Answer my question. Is your husband a lecher?
No.
Remove her. Elizabeth, tell the truth, Elizabeth.
She has spoken. Remove her.
Elizabeth, I'm confessing!
Oh, John, no!
She's not only to say my name.
Excellency, it is a natural lie to tell. I beg you stop before another is condemned. Private vengeance is at work through this testimony. From the start, this man struck me true. By my oath in heaven, I believe him, and I pray you call back his wife.
She spoke nothing of lechery. And this man lies.
Grande Prairie Little Theatre very recently instituted a new award in honor of opening our new building here. That award will be presented annually for outstanding contribution to theatre. We've named that award the Jenny Tetreault Award. I'd like to introduce Jenny Tetreault to you right now.
Friends of the theatre, last night it was totally unexpected, this award, and I couldn't say anything. I'm not sure if I can say it in 6 days, but there's one thing that's always been uppermost in my mind. It was not whether you should come to rehearsals or whether you should be on time, but always what was best for that particular show and the theatre. And although I did not always agree with some of the decisions that were made, once that decision has been made by the executive, I think it is every member's duty to support the decision of the executive, because we are the ones that have appointed them. And this executive that is in charge now of this group for the year has a tremendous load to carry. And I certainly hope that the audience will support them, and the members of the Grande Prairie Little Theatre will support them in every way possible, because it is only through that support that they can bring into focus what theatre is all about. That is what I'd like to say about the award. Now, I'd like to tell you a little something about a strange love affair that has existed in the city for over 30 years. It began when a small group of people decided to form a club and present a comedy to this audience. The audience were thrilled and showed their appreciation by their applause. And the love affair began in the early 1950s. At first, the club, like a new bride, could do no wrong. And the audience, like an attentive groom, was always supportive. But then the bride, like most brides, began to experiment with strange menus and fancy wines. The club presented musicals, dramas, mysteries, experimental theater. And that's when the first lovers' quarrel began. They had many spats, but it was fun to kiss and make up. And the club again promised to entertain and stimulate. And the audience said they would support and applaud. And thus the relationship continued. The first years were the worst. But the marriage developed and grew, and they went from place to place trying to find a home where ideas could be born, nurtured, and developed. And through combined effort and hard work, that dream came true. And we celebrate together in a new building. I invite you all, on behalf of the Grande Prairie Little Theatre, to continue this love affair. Grow old with us. The best is yet to come.
The first 10 years of Little Theatre's history saw groups merge and new challenges taken on. Performances formerly held in church basements, Speak Hall, and the old high school moved to the new composite high school in the stage door. The club consistently won awards in regional and provincial drama festivals. The city grew and a wealth of new talent and energy flowed into the club. Perhaps one of the very best club musicals hit the board in March 1972.
Must scramble for a living, feed a wife and children, say his daily prayers, and who has the right, as master of his house, to have the final word at home? The papa. Tradition. The papa. Tradition. will care for you.
May the Lord protect and defend you. May the Lord preserve you from pain. Favor them, O Lord, with happiness and peace, for hear our Sabbath prayer. Matchmaker, matchmaker, make me a match. Find me a find, catch me a catch. Matchmaker, matchmaker, look through your book and make me a perfect match. Matchmaker, matchmaker, I bring the veil, you bring the groom, slender and pale. Bring me a ring, for I'm longing to be the envy of all I see. For Papa, make him a scholar. For Mama, make him rich as a king. For me, well, I wouldn't holler if he were as handsome as anything. Matchmaker, matchmaker, make me a match. Find me a find, catch me a catch. Night after night I'm alone in the dark, so strike me a match of my own. Sunrise, sunset, sunrise, sunset, sweet sweet days. Seedlings turn overnight to sunflowers, blossoming even as we sunrise, sunset, sunrise, sunset, sweetly fly the east. One season following another, laden with happiness and sunrise, sunset. Blessing and bruising us. Drink L'chaim to life, L'chaim. L'chaim, L'chaim to life. One day is honey and raisin cake, next day a stone again. Drink L'chaim to life. Our great men have written words of wisdom to be used when hardship must be faced. Life obliges us with hardships, so the words of wisdom shouldn't go to waste. To us and our good fortune, be happy, be healthy, long life. And if our good fortune never comes, here's to whatever comes.